Hello, everyone. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. I want to talk about Heart and Hustle, Houston, a little bit. This new show, Heart and Hustle. You guys know I'm already in love with the show. When I watched the first episode, I was absolutely positively in love. Like I just felt like, wow, this is such a wonderful show. This is a show that is really going to hopefully put OWN back on the map. I feel like there is a huge potential for the show to end up being the number one show on OWN if we as content creators and like viewers do what it is that we need to do. Think about how much influence the content creators, the viewers had on the success of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I feel like now is the time to put all of that energy that we had for Love and Marriage Huntsville into Heart and Hustle Houston, right? So I feel like we need to really channel all of that and like try and put that energy into the show because it's a really, really good show. Now, there are some things I really wanted to talk about that happened in this latest episode. Alaina basically talked to her husband. Now, backstory for those of you who may be joining and haven't really listened. Alaina and Chloe were like having a conversation with the girls in a group, right? Chloe was trying to big up Alaina and talking about, oh, she's good looking and stuff. Then Chloe took it too far and basically said her husband was not good looking. Alaina took offense. Alaina didn't say anything about it at the time, but then talked to the other girls about it at a later stage. Okay? That's the backstory. Alaina then decides that now is the time she wants to talk to her husband about this comment. So she then says about the comment to her husband, and he's just like, he doesn't care. He's just like, okay, like, why am I even being brought into the conversation? That is what it felt like. And I'm not being funny, though, but what exactly is he supposed to say? Like, imagine someone comes to me and says, oh, I just wanted to tell you my friend doesn't think you're cute. Like, okay, do you think I'm cute? As long as you think I'm cute, like, that's fine. I don't care what your friend thinks, right? And so I thought it was a little bit weird. Like, it felt like blown out of proportion a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like it was absolutely wrong for Chloe to say that. Yes, but I think Alaina should have checked it in the moment. I don't think it's that deep to go tell your husband that your friend doesn't think you're cute. He's cute. That was very odd for me. Like, I was like, that is giving me odd behavior. There's no way I'm about to tell my man that, oh, well, my friend don't think you're cute. That's her opinion. Who cares? Right? So, yeah, that was just like a little segue that I was like, okay, girl, like, there was no need for all of that. You're doing a bit too much on that. But I will say they did talk about other things like their marital issues, which it was very interesting to hear them talk about it. Of course, you can tell they're still talking around it in circles because like nobody's really giving us the facts. But at the very least, he does talk about wanting to do individual therapy first before doing couples therapy. I think that makes a lot of sense. And interestingly enough, when you do want to do couples counseling sometimes, they actually want to have individual sessions with you guys first before even having a group session. So I do think there is definitely room for that, and I think like for most people it's actually the right way to go about it because sometimes you already have things you're dealing with as an individual that is then trickling down into other things as well. So yeah, I would say good idea. Moving on from that, I thought it was very interesting to see Munira, I remember when we saw her last episode, we felt like she seems alright, but we didn't know enough about her. So, hello everyone. For those who have just joined, we are doing a quick recap of the new show on OWN, Hearts and Hustle Houston. I'm also going to come back after that to talk about Maurice and Martel. So make sure you listen until the end. Also, please hit that like button as you guys come in. All right, back to it. So I do think it was quite interesting to see a little bit more of Munira this time around. Because last episode, we didn't see a lot of like her dynamic with her husband, with her family. So I think this time around, we got the opportunity to see her. It sounds like she works very hard. She wears a lot of hats, and I think it will be interesting seeing her balancing all of that. And I think like a lot of women can relate to that, where it's like you're juggling a full-time job, you're juggling your side hustle, you're juggling being a wife, you're juggling having kids, right? These are so many different things, yet you have to show up to all these things. So I do feel like I love the fact that we're getting to see more of that, because I think that is something that people can relate to. I do also like how they talk about how they've been married for a long time and they want to do more dates that don't involve the same things that they have been doing. I think like sometimes people can get complacent in relationships where you just feel like, well, we've been together for so long, we're already in a rhythm. There's no need for all these extras. But the thing with that is like it gets boring sometimes. You need to spice things up. And so I love that instead of doing a regular dinner date that they usually do, they decide to try something different and go to a cooking class. It's still about food. Clearly, there are a bunch of foodies, but at least it's a good start. It's a start towards doing something different. I will say, I found it a bit weird that she didn't even let the man sit down and eat that food. She was like, yeah, it would be good for my mom and you to hang out. I'm like, girl, chill. You guys are on date night. At least let the man eat. Let the man chill. Let the man eat. It's like, what is going on? And so it's just very odd that, like, it just went from like really like going at it, or you're talking about you really want a good date night. Next thing, you're out here talking about your mom. Like, please leave mom out of this date night and have a good time with your husband. Anyway, moving on. It was very interesting seeing Ro, Munira, and Librina together. We didn't get to see a lot of Librina this time around, but it's interesting. I feel like she asked all the right questions. Even though I think we only saw her maybe talk once or whatnot, she always decides to ask the right questions. The good thing about asking the right questions is you get the right responses, you get rich responses, right? And I feel like this time around, we were able to get to learn a little bit more about Ro. With episode 1, we thought Ro was just a fun girl, go lucky. I don't even think we knew she had a daughter. But to then see her and to see her interaction with her daughter, to also see her open up about how she felt about being pregnant, her child's father, and feeling like she didn't have support at the time. I definitely thought that that was interesting, just to see that side of her, to see a very different side of her. I love that the ladies were there to like console her and support her. I think that is what I love about the show. It's like it feels like a lot of the women are genuine. That's not to say that there aren't going to be petty behaviors. Absolutely, I can already see some pettiness brewing, but I think that on a whole, when somebody is going through it, there is some support. And I think this is something that Love and Marriage Huntsville lacked, which is when somebody, like when Melody was going through a lot of the things that she was going through with Martell, a lot of the girlies had no empathy towards her whatsoever. And that was very sad to watch. As a woman, it's like when somebody's going through stuff, no matter what, like no matter what it is, even if I'm going through, if I have friends that are going through stuff, even if I had beef with them or we had something we needed to clear up, you put that on the back burner and show up for your friend or show up for the people around you. It's just like basic level of empathy. That is all it is. So it's a little bit weird that isn't even a thing, right? Now that said, let's move on to the memorial that Chloe had for her late husband. That was very, very emotional. Rest in peace. I wish her and her family the best. Honestly, it was so sad seeing the girls talk about their dad and how emotional they were getting. I am very annoyed that the son didn't show up. And I know the son is upset that she's dating a younger man right now. But my thing is like, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, that's your mom. That is your mom. So it's like, no matter what the situation is, that is your mom. She lost her husband. Why wouldn't you be there for the memorial event? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you have one job. Show up for your mom. You don't even have to talk to her. You could still be in your feelings about who she's dating, whatever. Show up. Be there for your sisters at the very least. Not showing up, she's calling you, and then you're having an attitude, not even an apology. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I feel like I'm really annoyed that he did not have enough empathy to put aside his feelings about her dating a younger man. It doesn't make any sense. Like, chill. It's her life. I understand your frustrations. It's like, why are you dating a man that is practically my age? I get it. But at the same time, she is mourning the loss of her husband right now. It's the anniversary. You already know it's going to be an emotional day for your mom. The least you can do is show up. Even if you don't want to talk to her, be quiet. Just hug her, hug your sisters, and let it be that. Unless there's more to the story that we don't know about, which hopefully we'll find out about soon enough. So let's move on to the rodeo. Honestly, am I the only one that is so tired of all these cowboy themed events? Like, there's so many of them on a lot of different shows now, and I don't get it. It's like, okay, girl, we get it, but why? Why so many? Why so many? It really doesn't make any sense. Anyway, fast forward to the rodeo. Alaina pulled Chloe to the side and they were having a conversation. This is the thing. Chloe was not trying to hear it. And I get it because Chloe probably is dealing with the loss of her husband, the anniversary period. So Chloe ain't trying to hear nothing, especially because she thought it was such a lighthearted moment. And this is what I say about this is why it's important to address things in the moment. When you leave things and you move on from that, especially when it's a sly comment like this, it just doesn't resonate and land with the person that you're speaking to. If she had just addressed it in the moment and said, girl, I know you mean well, but I don't like that comment about my husband. Don't say that. She would have said, oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Instead, you addressing it days later, she's thinking, I thought we all had a conversation, we kikied, we laughed, that was the end of it. Why is this now being brought up again? That's what it feels like. It's almost like it blows it way out of proportion. So, yeah, so I get Chloe not trying to hear it because Chloe was just like, well, okay, your husband is the finest man in the world. Like, cool. I will say things are going to go left between Chloe and Alaina probably in the next episode. I say that because Latoria pulled Chloe to the side. I knew Latoria was not to be trusted, okay? When Alaina, if you remember, I said to you, I wish that she didn't have a conversation with Latoria because now Latoria will bring it over to Chloe. And that's exactly what happened. Because now Latoria was like, yeah, she said that, you can't pull the kind of man she pulls. So now Chloe is pissed. Because Chloe was thinking, I thought it was a light thing. Now I'm hearing that you've been discussing it with other people. So now it's a whole issue. So Chloe is going to drag it. Okay? And we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next episode. But I do think that there's going to be an Alaina versus Chloe. It's going to happen. it is only a matter of time. It's going to happen. Anyways, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.